Friends, today we are going to talk about a very important topic in management and agriculture extension, that is job conflicts and delegation of authority. The whole structure I have divided into 5 different parameters. One is introduction, we will be talking about functional authority, job conflict, nature of line and staff relationship, and delegation of authority. At the end we will have a sum up session. The objective of this presentation is that we have to understand the key features of delegation and decentralization, which is very important, and understand the concept of job conflict and delegation of authority. Job conflict and delegation of authority. The concept is difference between line and staff relationship. We will be talking about this little later. And use of functional authority, decentralization, centralization and delegation. These are the important concepts which we are going to talk about. We have 3 types of authority which exist in any organization or a system. One is the line authority, second is the staff authority and the functional authority. Line authority is superior subordinate relationship, which means it gives order concerning production, sales and finance related behavior of subordinates. And staff authority is to advise, assist and those who possess line authority, then improving effectiveness of line personnel to perform the required tasks. And line and staff personnel must work together closely to maintain the efficiency and effectiveness of any organization. For this purpose, management must take sure both groups understand the organization mission, specific objectives, and realize they are partners in helping the organization to achieve the objectives. Role of staff personnel: the advisory role, which is a counseling role, the service role and the control role. These are the 3 very important roles for the staff personnel. Conflict, which is very genuine to arise in a line and staff relationship. Therefore, we have to assume the line authority. Line authority is, for example, you are working in the State Department of Agriculture. Director is your the chief executive. Joint director, chief agriculture officer down to the line block. This becomes the line of relationship, and the staff will be your sale purchase officer, your other people who assist the line department. Therefore, the line authority must give sound advice to the staff relation, and the credit for success should not be given to one person. It is to be line and staff which is going to get the success or the credit. And if they fail to keep the line personnel informed their activities, which raise the conflict, and do not see the whole picture for this. Then the third is, as I mentioned earlier, is the functional authority. It's a right to give orders within a segment of the organization in which this right is normally non-existent. Complement the line and staff authority they already possess. Covers all specific task areas and is operational only for designated amounts of time. It cannot be forever, but it has to be for a specific time. Then there are very important topic of a job conflict. Job conflict is between line and personnel department. It often comes up because always in a human nature there will be conflict. When the conflict is there, there will be friction in any organization. The friction leads to loss of time and reduces the organizational effectiveness. The sources of conflict must be identified, and necessary action must be taken to overcome these conflicts. Then we will talk about advantages of unity of command. It means when the line and the staff, they work together, that becomes a more advantageous for us. Better relationship among superior and subordinate, clear authority, responsibility and accountability. Clear authority, responsibility and accountability. It will reduce and avoid the duplication of work. Prompt and quick decisions will be taken. Good, effective and efficient discipline. Better coordination and teamwork. This will boost the morale and positive attitude of the workers. That will lead to higher productivity of goods or services. Even in the State Department of Agriculture, if there is a unity of command, the work will be achieved more in a shorter span of time, which will have more coordination, more positive attitude and will be high in terms of the end product. These are the nature of line and staff relationship. Centralization refers to retention of control by the top management in the area of decision making. We will talk about decision making later, but this is also a very important component in a management process where decision making, who's making decision, what kind of decision making is done. Decentralization is reference to the participation of the employees, the lower level employees in the decision making process. It is not possible for an organization to be either completely decentralized or centralized. Then advantages of decentralization. It's very important these days to decentralize, because centralization sometimes create problem. Therefore, decentralization becomes very important, because decisions can be taken at the lower level. A person at the district level can take a decision and he can facilitate fast decision making. These decision strategies can quickly be adopted by the competitive environment, and above all, it provides autonomy to employee, increase their self-confidence and their motivation level. Coordination of decentralized units possesses serious challenge to the top management. Policy may not be applied uniformly across all the units. Disadvantages: when we have advantages, there must be some disadvantages. Disadvantages are the differences in opinion of the top management exist. That there will be difference between the top management and the unit head, which is a disadvantage for any organization. Economies of scale may be realized to each unit that tries to be independent. The success of a unit will depend on the efficiency and capability of its head. Then another component which is very important in this process is the delegation of authority. Delegation of authority is the delivery by one individual to the other for making decisions, requisition of resources, perform other tasks in order to fulfill the responsibilities. Making delegation work, because delegation, merely delegation of power will not work. You will have to make the delegation of power work. It means the effective management for proper, here is the task, the management will say, here is the task, now you do it. The management will sit back and wait for the results. It's not going to poke their nose in every sphere. Then having decided the task and having decided a person, there are three broad stages of delegating. One is briefing, we will be talking about it, then monitoring, then evaluating. Briefing is, you have to specify what are the parameters, what is the task, what are the deadlines, what are the resources available. Each has to be explained, and the desired outcome, what is expected out of this. Then allow each person the freedom to decide how to perform this task, and check that person understand what is required, and he must encourage the discussion. Then sell. Sell means give the idea, but don't oversell. It's a new approach, and it is your own approach. Be enthusiastic, but you have to have the commitment, agreement of a person with whom you are working. Be realistic about your expectations. It is not that you have the expectations up in the sky. So you have to be very realistic, and you have to indicate the need of progress reports and intermediate deadlines. Discuss the area of task that is sensitive to error or risk. Then the second is the monitoring of the progress, because unless you monitor, you will not be able to know what or in which direction we are proceeding. Allow the person to proceed the task without interference. No interference by the top management. Encourage the person to follow his own way. Be alert for signs that things are going to be wrong, but make room for trivial mistakes. Then the monitoring of the progress. Intervene only if a person doesn't spot errors or where sensitive areas are threatened. Be ready with help, advice and encouragement, but avoid doing task yourself. Don't put yourself in a task and start doing it. That is not the monitoring. Transfer the delegation to the extreme circumstances. Encourage frequent informal discussions rather than formal feedback. If you think you need to have discussion, you have the discussion. And it is not essential that every time you have the formal feedback from a person from the down. Stand back from the process and retain a view of a bigger picture. Then evaluation and feedback. It's very, very important for all of us. Was it due to the misunderstanding between you and your people? Was his or her performance not up to the standard? Was the wrong person selected? Were there unforeseen problems confronted, or there was mistakes? Now these are some of the areas where we need to be very careful about this particular topic. Now if we conclude, the organization differ in the amount of authority given to the lower level employees. Centralization is the retention of decision making authority with the top management. Decentralization is granting of decision making powers to the lower level employees. It is not possible for an organization to be either completely decentralized or completely centralized. Delegation of authority refers to the manager at the top who grants the right to the subordinate to make decision or use his discretion in judging certain issues. The amount of authority delegate depends upon the delegator and the delegate, as it is an organizational factor. Therefore, it is very essential for us to know that the conflict arises between the line and the subordinate, which are to be very systematically taken care of. This can be taken care of by mutual understanding, by mutual consultation. Decentralization is an important issue which must be taken care of. Let me sum up by saying that I have tried in this job conflict and delegation of authority, the areas under functional authority, job conflict, nature of line and staff relationship, and delegation authority, decentralization and centralization. I am sure you have understood what I have talked about, but please, if you have any query on the subject, especially on this particular subject, you are requested to go through the material which has been supplied by Manage, or you can go and consult the website of the Manage to have more clarity, clarification, etc. Thank you very much.